Okay, in this video auto recording, I want to talk about the transgender agenda, the transgender movement, the unisex movement. There's a few believers out there that consider this to be too far-fetched or crazy, too out there. And I understand it's high-level information, confidential information. It's a top secret, but if you watch some of my videos from previous years, even from last year, I talk about how the demonic realm is able to produce bodies of humans through underground or above ground laboratories, or who knows, other dimensions and realms. They're able to produce soulless bodies that they could jump in and animate, but they're not produced through, the union of a male and female coming together and bringing forth a child. And even then, they could produce tears that way as well, okay? As some of you may or may not know. So basically what I'm getting at is that there's a androgynous agenda, because some of these reprobate angels are not solid in gender, such as the angel of death, Samael, who's a transsexual, meaning neither male nor female, but both in one body. He's like a mishap produced by his mom, God bless her soul. But this individual, he's fudged up as far as gender goes, okay? Some of you may know him as Lucifer, which he's just a Lucifer. It's really, all Mount Olympians are Luciferians, okay? Gentiles, heathens. You just watch some of my previous videos lately. You just know what I'm talking about. But anyways, so yeah, this individual, who's a lot of you know as Satan, he's androgynous, okay? And he produced other beings like himself, all right? Maybe they look more male, others look more feminine. Whatever the case is, maybe some of these angels are actually androgynous. They're just pretending to be something they're not, So whatever the case is, I want to share with you this fact that some of the people that you see on TV, not just in your country, but maybe other countries as well, they may not be the gender that you're looking at. For example, if you're looking at a female, what looks like a female, it might be like a more androgynous being that is getting more in touch with their feminine side, all right? So you think you're looking at a female when this really is both male, female. Or you might be looking at a guy. You think it's a guy if you're a girl, but it's just an androgynous being that could look just as girly as it can look manly, because it's an it. It's not a he or a she or a male or female. So it's an androgynous being. And you see these people on TVs, they're your celebrities. Now, I'm not going to say every one of them. I believe there are real people on TV that might be solid in gender. I don't think that lasts long. They might get replaced, because you know how the mouth of Edom is. They're just fudged up in the head like that. So anyways, so whatever the case is, these individuals are androgynous. So you think you're looking at a female, might be just an androgynous being that could look like a complete male in a second, So, you don't know what the hell you're looking at out here. So you got to be careful. So you must understand this. I know it's hard for you to grasp this. It might gross you out. But they create these bodies because disembodied, that's what they are, androgynous beings. So they got to produce something that's, to their liking, whatever they feel comfortable sporting. So I'm going to share with you a few things to look for, to spot when you're watching TV or you're looking at some of these celebrities, people you see on TV that you think are great and wonderful, but you don't know that they're transsexuals. So, yeah, you'll see it here on the screen what to look for as you hear me describe to you these individuals. And yeah, basically they're just corpses animated by high-level fallen angels, all right? And it's very important that you understand that it's not just going on in the main countries, all right, popular countries throughout the world. Be happening in second, third world countries. You got to know what to look for. That's why they wear the makeup, all the fancy stuff and all that to cover that up, so you can't tell what you're looking at. You're thinking, oh, look at this beautiful female. It might be a nasty androgynous being that could look just as manly in a second with muscles and everything as it can look like a female. So it might even be a spirit that you're looking at and you have no idea. It might be a spirit, or it could be it could be the Matrix playing games with you, or it could be an individual that's got male and female DNA. Okay, so they produce this corpse because the spirit that's going to animate it, the angel or whatever, is both male and female as well. So they produce bodies that they feel comfortable in because it represents who they are. All right, so that's why maybe they look more beautiful, because they got both the male and the female. But if you ask my opinion on that, I believe men are supposed to look handsome, women are supposed to look beautiful. You have angels that look beautiful. I think that's kind of gay, and not gay as in happy, gay as in kind of effeminate. But that's their mode. Okay, that's the angels. Okay, us made in the image of the Most High. I like to consider males, when they're take care of themselves and are firing on all cylinders as far as the looks department goes, they look very handsome, which is, I believe that's the standard. Beauty, you want to leave that for the females, for the women, right? But anyways, yeah, so you got to know what to look for in these beings. A lot of them are big celebrities, movie stars, singers, actors, athletes, politicians, what else? Doctors. I mean, you see them in all types of fields. Military people. I mean, police. Everywhere. They're everywhere. Okay. They're terrorists. They're not normal human beings like you and others. And nowadays, rumor is that there's not a whole lot of real humans left on the planet. I don't know if I believe that, because you know how this matrix works. I do believe that people that are not sealed or protected in these end times, they get tagged by unclean spirits, and I could testify to this. When you don't want to play the game, their corrupt game, which only benefits these wicked people in charge, they do stuff, but that's all right. No worries. Yeah. It's hard to tell what you're looking at nowadays, even out here in the streets, But that's why if you study the scriptures, like a student would, a scholar would, study anything, any field, anything that individual's interested in. If you study the scriptures, you'll see that the cloning is there. All right. Scripture mentions about the archangel Michael contending with Samael over the body of Moses. And I said the body, not the soul. So obviously he wanted to do something with his body. So you got to ask yourself, what was that tranny planning on? Excuse me. What was that tranny planning on doing with Moses' body? I'd probably clone him. And I made a video about the cloning, and I broke down some scriptures, and I think Romans, how I gave you like a deeper level of insight from the scriptures, how these archons that created this lower realm, the 3D realm, this world, this matrix, they produced an androgynous being that they created themselves, a corpse that they try to get souls, trap them down here and to animate these bodies. And Samael is responsible for this matrix. For those that don't know, read the Gnostic text. So, they're behind it. They worship the creature. They worship the materialistic, more than the prime creator. I am. Emmanuel. Some know him. Some say Yahuwah. Yahweh. But the thing is that, they're producing nasty bodies. Okay, I mean, flesh and blood is corruption. It's not going to inherit the kingdom of the creator. You got to transform this body, okay? some way, whether you disembody yourself or whether you transform at the seventh trump in the blink of an eye. But I mean, they're all about flesh and blood, guts and gore, and I mean, they take things to the extreme, which is one of the issues I have with them and those at the top in charge. But this is their world. They could do whatever they want with it. That's fine. But there are consequences for the abuse of souls and the souls that are inhabiting bodies. And they must be exposed. This is one of the ways to, bring about the judgment and sentence by exposing a lot of these reprobate gods, goddesses, and Anglo Germs. So I need to let you know that don't get freaked out, but it's true. These creatures take, these lower realms to the extreme. And they do all kinds of abominations, all right? So they mess with these bodies, and yeah, they do all kinds of things. And you got to know what you're looking at, because people have idols, like people on TV that they idolize, that they want to be like in whatever genre, category, or field. And so they look at these individuals, they're like, wow, I want to be like that. But they don't realize they're looking at a transsexual, at a tranny. All right? And they don't even know what's inside the body, the corpse animating it, Because these individuals can animate different corpses at one time, That's how much power they have with their little technology. So you want to let go of TV. You want to stop paying attention to these clowns. They feed off of that, the attention and all. You only want to give the attention to where it should go, right? You only want to pay attention to things that are worth your time and devotion, such as spiritual matters, right? Because this world that you see around you, it's all a grand delusion. They could do all kinds of stuff, I'm telling you. And so your best bet will be just to ignore what you're looking at on TV, all right? You got to be cultivating yourself spiritually, all right? Mind and body. And yeah, that's why we're here for, we're waiting. We're trying to reap as many souls as we can for heaven. But people don't want to let go. They don't want to pay attention to what's going on. And they don't realize that the people they admire are nasty transsexuals, and they don't know what to look for in an individual. Okay, if you pay attention to the male body, it looks different than the female body, obviously. If you study their anatomy, compare and contrast, a lot of people don't do that. They just, they cover up their faces with makeup and all that, and they dress them up. And people are like, oh, wow. But if you know what to look for, what features, small features, details in the face, body, then you'll be like, man, this is kind of odd for a guy to have, or a girl. So, they want to program you into accepting the transgender agenda, into accepting these transsexuals that spawned from Samael, the angel of death. So, yeah, they want to get accepted like it's something normal. It's just a mishap that happened, that was brought about. It's just a byproduct. And, okay, it was unintentional. All right, fine, but that's not normal, You got to pick a gender if you can. If they don't know what gender they want to be, then, hey, that's on them. But that's not that gender is that they got to stick with their own kind. You see, the trannies stick with trannies. Males stick with males, females with females, women with women. You know what I mean. Males, men with men. It's just like you wanna, excuse me, you wanna keep things separate until you know what you look what's the type to look for, to watch out for, which is the transgenders. Okay, it's the transgenders. So You don't want to be with a tranny, right? A flesh and blood body that's transgender, or even spirits shouldn't even mix with flesh and blood, in my opinion, because spirits I consider in higher regard than nasty flesh and blood. But there are some idiot spirits out there that like to mingle with humanity. I don't see why they would want to do that when they got other spirit beings out there that they can mingle with. But hey, whatever. That's their problem. Yeah, on top of all the problems they got. Anyways, uh, yeah, yeah, you gotta know what to look for. A lot of the people you admire on TV you think are cool are just transsexuals, or you don't know what the hell you're looking at. Even out here in the streets, I mean, it's raining demons, trannies, dummies, angels, gods, goddess. I mean, it's crazy, man. So pay attention to what you're looking at on TV. This is just an example of some of the things to look out for and how to spot a transsexual. As far as how to spot a transsexual, a tranny, you got to know what you're looking for. All right? So I'll have more on this. And I might use like celebrities as an example. But for now, you must get acquainted with these things, what to look for. Because you'll see things that are abnormal when you look at them. And they know what they're doing. They know how to dress them up to distract you. You're all wrapped up in the, their look, how they got them all decorated and covered up with makeup. They get beautified, touched up with makeup and all that. And, dress them up nice. But, you're getting distracted. You're subconscious and you're not really, you don't know. If you don't know what they're doing, was obviously you're going to, you think, you're in your mind. You're born innocent. You don't know what's going on in this matrix. You think in your mind that everything is fine and dandy until you wake up to these things and you become aware of them. Yeah, I know it freaks people out. Some of them are so grossed out. They're like, I don't even want to talk about it or deal with it. I just haven't gotten around to it because there are other more important issues to address than this agenda here. Because this is low-level stuff, really. It was high level at some point, but I think now as we progress further, there's other information that is more crucial to the times we're moving into and we're living in. But this is also something to look out for people that are still wrapped up in idol worship, especially here in America. Realize that entertainment is just that, to pass up time. Understand that the people you see on TV, you don't know what the hell you're looking at, They look like normal people, but they're not. You don't know. I'm telling you, this Matrix plays a lot of head games with you, right? Imagery and all that. Your eyes can be deceived by what they see. Your ears can be deceived by what they hear. So, truth is from within. And sometimes you got to feel things out. Feel it. Sense it. Perceive it within. Because what's out here in the world, it's not what you think. This world looks so just plain, like there's nothing to it. No, this world's a lot more mysterious and mystical than you think. But of course, they could change it in a second. Things could change in a second because those at the top have the remote control, so they could, make things happen in an instant. And once you understand this, how this matrix works, then you know that you're not taken by what you see. People that you meet out here in the streets and whatnot, that they're real, and if you see them around, then maybe you could kind of scope them out and see what's going on. And even if you talk to them and you think they're real, you always understand that spirits could get on them, or you might not be looking at who you think you are. So always, the matrix likes to play head games. But if you know what's up, then you could play games back too, if you know what I mean. So, yeah, you just got to be on your toes no matter where you're at, no matter who you're talking to, what you're dealing with. These are just a few pointers on what to look out for, all right? Please keep these things in mind and let them sink into your mind And it's going to help you as I continue to put out videos on some of these celebrities in different countries throughout the world. All right. So with that being said, much love, continue the faith, all glory and praise to the Most High, Ahaya, I am, some know him as Yahuwah, and his son, Yeshua Emmanuel, or Yahuwah Shah. That's it. Shout out to all you messengers out there trying to do your best to adapt to the changes taking place. Yeah. Keep working. No matter what happens, keep pushing forward. Keep trying to do the right thing. Everybody do their part. Know your role and stick with it. Our focus should be on things that matter, like people's well-being, lives, and that type of stuff. The material and all that, that's the least. That's not that important. People that are holding on to those things, I think those are the people that are going to go down with them, okay? So, yeah. Just cultivate the things that really matter in existence, all right? And keep operating in the vibration of love, all right? Gotta have love. Otherwise, whatever you do without love, it prospers you nothing, all right? So, yeah. Shout out to all the elect out there, the 144,000 awaiting to achieve godhood, as they call it, or to be transformed, that 7 Trump. Or even if you have to, be taken out for it, to prove yourself, whatever the case is. Nothing but love and respect. Just keep pushing the truth, all right? No matter what happens, you got to push the truth. If that means exposing some of the people you thought were on your side, then hey, so be it, man. Count the cost, This is what we signed up for. This is what we came for. If people don't want to change and do the right thing, then that's on them. But us as believers, we fight for what's right, So with that being said, I'm out. Shalom.